Okay, thank you, for your presentations, and we can start with questions, and I will use this privilege as a moderator to ask kind of first round of questions, and we will start with you, Matko. Recent earthquake in Zagreb, that's a question for many, and how your houses were dealing with it.
Yeah, we have a very bad experience with the earthquake, not Zagreb earthquake, this was okay, but Petrinja earthquake was really, really strong. And our village, it's on some line of earthquake, and a lot of houses, we have around 5 houses in our village, conventional houses with the red mark, and it's completely damaged. And our Strobel houses have wooden construction, and wood is very flexible, and we have just a few small problems with plaster somewhere cracked, and that's it.
So they are very resistant, yeah, that's good to know. Because I think that when we saw your presentation, that many of us will start to imagine, I would like to have such a house, in a way, yeah. Duje, I have also a question for you. This kind of, I didn't know that, for me at least, I was ignorant of that. I didn't know that this deforestation is really kind of caused by fishing. Lots of us were heard stories, at least in these parts of Croatia, that Venice took our wood, to build it. But, since you put this in a new perspective of a kind of industry that was consuming so much wood from the 16th century, so it's a really long period, and we know in a way that kind of this was very kind of important economical assets. Fishing for whole Adriatic eastern coast, and but how do you see this kind of political actions that was starting I think in the end of the 19th century and the beginning of 20th century with intense forestations, kind of again, because at least here in the northern part of Adriatic eastern coast, at least some ecological groups were complaining that was done a lots of damage with that, because the indigenous plants, especially here was oak, was kind of completely neglected because of this Aleppo pine that you mentioned. And how it's now, in a sense of kind of how people see this in Hvar, this relation of kind of indigenous plants and the kind of new plants that was started, century ago, not earlier, I think. Yeah, please.
Well, I think that at least as a resource, they are equally legitimate. They burn the same. But regarding this, this is quite a controversial topic about this Aleppo pine that pretty much emerges in our local and national media every summer when the fire season is on. Then you have stories how Aleppo pine reproduces by fires and that. I'm not an expert, I'm not a botanist or anything, but I've heard that version of the story, but I've also heard another that it's not that bad. The thing with Aleppo pine is that it's much more resistant and it's easier to plant on karst terrains with bad soil. It is true that it was planted as this temporary culture, so that you plant first the Aleppo pine so that that the soil reproduces, becomes better, and then you can plant something else. But I don't know why didn't any of that happen. However, I have a story, for example, from my family. My grandfather was born in 1920, and he always, I remember I mean, he died when I was still a kid, but I remember his stories always. He was really, really sensitive of the pine, because he, in school, went to these forestation actions and they were planting pines. So when he was, for example, building his house in Hvar, he kept all of them. He literally built a house from concrete, but he literally built it, around the pines. And he was quite an inspiration for the neighbors. They also took that approach. Even most of them weren't from Hvar and weren't included in those actions. But there is this awareness of the importance of that pine tree. I don't know if I answered your question, but
no. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, definitely yes, because I think it's nice to hear that people accept it. I mean, although it's a kind of temporary solution, as you said, and we know that, but this temporarity is quite long now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Filip, I wanted to ask you. You mentioned a lot about dry stone walling, in a sense of heritage, and also I think that you mentioned, if I catch you right, that in a way, it lost a little bit. It lost a functionality in a way, due to other techniques. But I just want to ask you maybe about this importance of the dry stone walling because of preventing the erosion of the land, and that is kind of essential for agriculture. But do you think that is still a kind of has the same function? I mean, it's supposed to have the same function, but what are the new techniques that is kind of pushing it out? Or it's just a lack of agriculture on our islands, or kind of short?
Hold on to that question. I just wanted to make a remark on the pine. We must admit that it is very valuable resource now for what is the main economical activity on the coast now. You see, the shade of pine, the smell of pine. It's very resourceful now. Aleppo pine is I think one of the top resources of Croatian coast now. We must be aware of that and not judge it too hard, And with the agriculture, today there some research going on in Italy about the benefits of terracing and how it not only suppresses the erosion but keeps the soil moist and so on. But we also must be frank and see that today there are new techniques going on in which you, with machinery, you grind all the karst and you put the horizon of soil, a layer of soil. On top of that, you put a layer of gravel, which prevents, like mulch, which prevents the drying out of the soil, and it functions. And some of the sites that have exist for 10 or more years now don't show slightest sign of erosion. So it's always easy to praise the technological advantage of dry stone walling and how it but it's also very have you been grape picking on the slope ever? In grape picking, you pull on the steep terrain. You just pull the bucket down the slope, and if you have nice steep level terrain, you just put it. But if you have terraces every once in a while, it's much more harder. So I think the truth is the way is somewhere in between. Let's take Frano Miloš, one of the greatest winemaker in Croatia. He's from Pelješac, Ponikve, and he does the both. He do the terrain with the machinery, but not so heavy machinery, not so aggressively. And he also does the occasional terracing to keep some kind. I think maybe even to keep the landscape picture and to keep the tradition. And he is very proud of it, and he puts it everywhere in his materials, and he achieves great prices for his wine, which is a must if you want to sustain this kind of landscape, which is hard to work with.
Thank you. I mean, floor is open. I mean, if anybody has any question, please, or comment. Yeah, please.
Hi everyone, thanks for everyone's comments and kind of cautionary taste basically on overexploitation with the last example in particular. I'm here in front of Oaza Collective, also part of the Made In project, and have been in touch with Henriette as well. So we'll like to share a few questions that also she was trying to pose. Her work with Atelier Luma is very similar to the efforts made with the ZMAG Foundation. So she was quite curious about ways, if you can comment, if there is any sort of governmental or national support towards this type of initiatives, or is it still basically kind of self-made and you respond to people's requests or maybe even commissions by clients? And also, is there a way to regulate the actual sourcing of materials that are then used in particular projects? Meaning that if we are to envision a world where this becomes more of a generally spread practice, what would need to happen in terms of resources and supplies being available and at your hand? In a sense, is there a cooperation with farmers, producers? Where do you supply the materials to be able to do what you do?
Okay, I understand we have two questions. The first one, it's please again...
any kind of support on
national level.
Yeah.
We have big support of National Foundation for Civil Society. From 2007 to this day, we are permanent under his umbrella, literally said. And now we are one of the knowledge for permaculture, Center of Knowledge for Permaculture, and that's the only one and enough for us support of some government body. Other projects, we are like other NGOs on the market, and we work on many Erasmus. We have a connection with some agency and foundation from Switzerland, some Germany foundation, and Zmagic now we have 9 employees. And we are classical NGO, but from the government side, just from the this national agency, and we work something with the Ured za udruge, the office for NGOs, but that's just project activities, and that's it.
But on a level of support and interest, would you comment that there is a tendency, there is sort of a response from people? You have a lot of applicants, there is a growing kind of awareness of it. So is it happening at a larger scale, basically?
Yeah, we have a lot of public. We have a lot of participants of any of our conference, academy, course, or stuff like this. And also we have our estate, our imanje, farm, property, we rent for many events, but we rent for other organizations, not for big companies, not for team building for Coca-Cola. But all of this, it's our way how to make money. And I want to say it's not so easy, but we work. And it's not so big money, and we don't have money enough, but we can work and live day by day and make some... and we develop our project, but very, very slow. Very slow, and but that's our way.
And maybe just a short note on sourcing materials. So we are kind of problematizing here and questioning similar cases to the pine example. How to go about exploiting matters in your own case.
We promote do-it-yourself culture, and when you start on idea level, with your farm, house, whatever, the very important thing is make a good plan, and you must know you must recognize resources around you, and that's the first step. It's very important to recognize the local heritage, the local traditional techniques, and it's crazy to build with the wood on hvar, for example. You have a stone, and that's the first level. And a lot of our materials, it's really around us. Our philosophy is we build houses with 5 kilometers around us. More than 100% of materials we find in around 5 kilometers. And what we need for build. Clay, in 99% we find clay on the building site. You can find the wood around, because our story, it's a rural story. We don't go in the city so much with these projects. And we don't have problem with resources because we are a rich country. We have a lot of resources. Wood, stone, clay, sand, straw bales, I don't know. We don't have problem with materials, especially because we have Gorski Kotar, the area with a lot of good quality softwood, and I have some cooperants in Gorski Kotar, and I know what I need for construction. Give list to my cooperants, and he drive me wood, for example. But if we can, we work with local woods, with oak, with chestnut, with acacia, with local pine, with Irish, not Irish Croatian. The large. Okay.
This is for small-scale projects, so up to 3 houses a year. Can you envision a scenario of scaling up? I think this was her concern. Okay.
I'm satisfied.
So if we are suggesting to turn this into, we're keeping it in an alternative domain. It's not becoming
we share a knowledge and we share techniques. And The building is not easy and simple process. It's very hard, intensive, and it's intensive process. Philip knows from beginning how it's hard, and you can imagine every kind, every sort, every type of building. It's not easy because you must prepare yourself for a very, very stressful period of your life. Or you can find somebody else and you can pay to him to take stress for you, whole this process. But I want to say, I forgot what I want to say. You asked me, sorry, I forgot.
Scaling up.
Before before 10 years ago, I have 3 vans, 3 group of people, and 3 times stress more than now. With 1 van, with 1 tools collection, and that's my choice. I want to stay educator, small and happy in my life with my lifetime.
Okay, do we have some more questions? Yeah, please.
Use the microphone. Okay, 2 questions. I'm also a partner of the Made-in project from Germany, university in Germany. My question therefore is, because we also are kind of tourists here right now, so I learned you build all the trees, or you plant all the trees for us, for tourists. And that's very funny. And therefore, do you build the dry walls also with that in mind, maybe? To make something more attractive in touristic manners, or
no, the scope, or the scope of our workshops doesn't allow us to be too much of ambitious, you know. It's there are weekend workshops. We are satisfied when we manage to rebuild the portion of the wall along the road, or if we manage to rebuild part of the fallen water well or something like that. And the biggest project we had is building of a dry stone hut, shelter building, which was removed from the site of the Dubrovnik airport when it went into enlargement, you know, and they had to remove 3 of old dry stone buildings, and then we rebuilt them on different spots away from the airport. And one can say that now their purpose is more of some kind of touristical or aesthetic one, or just for showing, you know. One is at the entrance of the airport, another is slightly away, and the other is along. The third is nearby the road, which is very frequent with the traffic, and I guess many tourists come and see, it's built that way. It's very nice, and things like that.
But you say it's just aesthetically, but it's very, it is high value, of course. These aesthetic values, the design values, just to have the feeling that this is a nice view. This is a very important value, of course.
I agree. When you're into visitor economy, aesthetic values are very important, and I think this is kind of new momentum for landscape issues, especially in touristic countries like Croatia. And there is an issue that connected with forests. Europe is getting greener now. The reforestation is on the way, big time, and many sites, many impressive dry stone landscapes are completely covered with vegetation now. So I think it would be advisable to not to plant another woods, but to remove some as well, to see some cultural landscape, or at least some ex-cultural landscapes.
And thank you. The other question is for you about the house building. So you're doing kind of consulting then? So I can hire you if I would like to build a house on my own. Then I can hire you as a consultant maybe, and you show me how to do it. Is this your business model?
Yes. Yeah, we can continue this. Yes, of course. Yeah, I'm a consultant, and I have few models of consulting. The first step is something in generally, location, design, and stuff like this. The second step it's collaboration with the architects, and because I know the technique. Look, everything is just in few details. When you build and when you have a lot of houses and experience, you know details, and this details is very important. This is something what you cannot read in a book or find on internet. And I can, through the process of drawing your project, I speak with the architects and make best solution for the object. And the last level, it's working on site. I have a workshop for the builders also, for the conventional builders who want to build, I don't know, with the wood, with the stone, with the hemp, with the clay. And I work in the whole world. My area, it's ex-Yugoslavia area, but also I have some project in Austria, in Germany, in Nigeria, in France, and in last period, not now. And I'm open for work.
Great.
But you are from Germany?
Yeah, I'm from Germany.
I know much better guys in Germany for you.
Than you?
Because no. My philosophy it's very local, you know, and my group of people work much closer to our village, and really we can continue this later.
Yeah, of course, thank you. But I like the idea of helping people to help themselves.
Yeah.
So that's the maker spirit, the growing maker spirit.
Yeah, a lot of our people who come to us on our workshop or Academy of Natural Building learn how to do, take the know-how and build for yourself. And I'm not satisfied with this. I'm satisfied, but my first idea is to make new builders. Because this is very logic, these techniques, it's very logic, it's very tradition, it's very healthy homes on the end, and it's a good thing. And my idea is how to share, how to spread this this type of housing.
Last question. That means you want to teach teachers also?
Yeah, not teachers.
You want to
yeah, also and teachers. Yeah, I teach.
You want to have more teachers.
Yeah.
To teach your idea.
Yeah.
To spread the word.
Yeah, we work a lot of. I don't speak about that on my presentation, but we on our in ZMAG we work with kindergartens, with elementary school, with the high schools, with the faculties groups. And especially we work with the teachers. And here is one guy who with a lot of work on educational platform, on the national level. ZMAG, it's one of creator of curricular reform in Croatian educational system. And our work based on permacultural principles, and now in the school through the few different courses. It's in the system, and children learn about our topics, about these very important topics.
Okay, thank you. We have another question here.
Yeah, thank you for your presentation. My name is Thomas. I'm also partner, or we are also partner from the Made in platform from the Museum of Decorative or Applied Arts in Dresden. Since Made in is also a platform of design and crafts, I would like to learn or hear a bit about your aesthetic decisions. I mean, for instance, with Matko, the projects that you have presented, they have a quite diverse aesthetic. And how does it come about? I mean, is it driven by the resources, by the aesthetic ideas of the builders or makers, or is it driven by the tradition of making? And I think that would also be a question for Filip.
Aesthetic, yeah. That's my favorite. The possibilities with the natural materials, it's really, really big in aesthetic way of thinking. And we can build the complete, straight, 100% walls with any, shades. You cannot see any mistakes. But also we prefer the organic surface, organic style. And I work with this material and I'm very, very happy what I can do this. It's some kind of, you can build a sculpture because it's the same material for sculpturing, It's not burned and it's just plaster. And every decision about aesthetic, it's between the investor and the executor of works or workers and architects. And in this triangle we make any decision about design.
You said that you have another question, or?
I can tell only about the aesthetic of the wall. So it is not lumpy, the stone doesn't fall off or something like that. That's roughly the aesthetical issue of dry stone walling. Of course, another choices and decisions you have to make when you are building a house, but that's not the issue here in rebuilding some field wall or something like that. It's interesting how the walls nearby the road are traditionally built better than the ones that are not seen by public. Yeah, that's an aesthetical remark, I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, do we have any other comment or question? Okay, if not, I mean, I will, if you have some final remarks that you want to share with us, or if not, we can conclude this and discuss it through the afternoon in a more informal setting. And I really thank you very much for your presentations and for new insights for all of us. And yeah, once again, please one applaud for our